time video of our Thrive program, if that's what you want to call it, with the go time part of it. It mainly pertains to the workouts. Today I'm going to talk about the equipment that I use as a goat tire. I was going to bring out my saddle, but I can't really maneuver it very well to show y'all different things. But I will tell y'all for my goat time saddle, it is a roping saddle, specifically a calf roping saddle. Mine is a Sloan, and I will say that it's not as wide, or the seat isn't as long as what a lot of roping saddles are. The reason I love my goat time saddle is because I literally feel like I can just stay right here, stay in place. I'm not moving around everywhere, and so whenever I go to dismount, I feel really in control. The main thing that you should really worry about with goat tying and dismounts, because that's where you're coming out of with your saddle, is the stirrups. You never want a rubber sole or rubber anything in that stirrup. We do suggest that you use a leather stirrup and a wider stirrup, just so that you can put your foot in there comfortably. It's really difficult to stick your foot all the way in there, so less likely of getting hung up. And then just that leather sole or that leather stirrup will help you slide out easier, whereas more of a rubber sole can kind of add some friction, and it can be harder for you to get out. Okay. Those are just suggestions that I have, safety hazards that I like to think about. The other part that is really kind of important to me is not necessarily a bit. Your horse works better in whatever bit works for them. But my main thing, and it works well for me, is my reins. So as you can tell, my reins are super short. They're not some type of roper rein. So the reason I use shorter reins is because anytime that I use a roping rein or any rein that was really long, the reins would somehow end up wrapping around my hand. No, I never got hung up in them, but I did not like the feeling of what if something does happen. So I would have to let my arm go like this whenever I was dismounting, just so that I wouldn't get hung up. Okay, so I really like the shorter reins just because I don't really have to worry about getting hung up. There's not much to them, and then also, if my horse runs around the arena and he starts slinging his head or whatever, these seem to stay on a lot better compared to roping reins. They don't drag their ground, so there's not a loop in them for a horse to step through. And that's really why I like these little reins, is because I didn't have to worry. I didn't seem I had to worry as much about that. And then too, my hands never got wrapped up in them like they did with roping reins. Okay. And again, this is all personal preference. It is whatever you like. The other thing that I use is a goat tying pole, and this is just what I keep my strings in. I've literally had this thing since I was probably 10 years old. Okay, and I am 25 years old now, but it did come with a cap, and funny story, the cap broke because my brother felt the need to take my goat tying pole and throw a rock and hit it. Well, he broke the cap, so we never put another cap back on it. And that was the story on that. Still works great. But all it does is just keep my strings out of the weather, out of the conditions, and it helps keep my strings straight. It will not keep them board straight, and I highly suggest that you don't stick a string in here that has kinks. Look at it beforehand before you stick it back in. So here, prime example of a kink that I never got out of my string. Okay, so as you can see, there's a huge curve. Always try to get the kinks out before you put your string back into the tube, just so that we help eliminate these a little bit more, and it helps keep them in natural form for longer periods of time. Okay, I will say too, especially in the summer, and if you live out in a humid area, check your caps, your end caps, as I've had so much dirt and just nastiness. At one point I did have mold in it. It was the springtime, terrible, but I found found mold on my strings, so I just had to take this end cap off and just bleach everything. So right now there is some dirt, but that's about it because I haven't had it out in the elements. I usually keep it in some kind of a controlled environment. But this is my setup. I like my setup. It's worked for me for years. But again, you know, your setup is your setup, and it's whatever that works best for you. But I do suggest getting a goat tying tube, just so that you can keep your strings out of the weather and try to keep them straight, okay? And then just for me, if you have issues and you get scared of reins wrapping around your hand, try to find some shorter reins. Mine are ugly, but they work for me. I didn't really care. And then, oh, the other part is goat tying lace-ups. I forgot about these. Thursday we will have a video about these, but these are my goat tying lace-ups. These are what I tie in, okay? And I like them for certain reasons, in which we'll get into those reasons on Thursday, okay? But this is the equipment that I use. Again, you find what works best for you until you find something that you feel comfortable and confident with, and then you stick with it until you feel like there's something that you need to change again, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure before you head out that you do subscribe to my channel right over here, and that you watch this next video that will be posted right over here. Also, don't forget, you do have a 15-minute cardio workout planned tomorrow. So get up and get to work on that, okay? Don't miss out, because it is really good. You do have rest. And I will see y'all back here tomorrow with your next workout at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will talk to y'all later. Have a great day, everyone.